body feels on top of mine. So take your time. We got
He's an R&B legend and the lead singer of a group whose sound helped shape the soundtrack of the 90s and 2000s. And he continues to evolve as a solo artist and creative force. Please help me welcome Slim from 112.
you put me close to you. Just let it fly.
So Slim, welcome. Thank you for joining us today.
Thank you for having me.
This is such an honor. You helped shape my R&B, my love for R&B, in all through middle school, all through high school, college, young adult life.
Nice.
So this is amazing. I'm a huge fan.
Thank you for having me.
All right, so take us back to the early days in the studio. It's 1996.
Wow.
Yeah. 112 is getting ready to drop.
Yep.
Take us back to those days. What moments in the studio stand out the most to you?
Oh man. Well, just the creative process of putting the records together, and most artists, the A&R brings the records to you, and then they try to like sculpture the artist. Well, with us, we were very self-contained, so we were bringing the records actually to the label.
Amazing.
So there's one that probably trended. It trends a few times where everybody saw the infamous where we were presenting Anywhere to Bad Boy.
Okay.
And Puff was going all crazy, right? Mm-hmm. So we had a lot of those moments. And then I would just walk outside, like we being from Atlanta, Georgia, and taking in New York and the whole hip hop R&B field culture. We're infusing it. Walking down the street, listening to the yellow cars, the yellow cabs.
Yeah.
I know it's before my time.
We don't really have those anymore.
Yeah, we don't have that anymore. But I used to just listen to it and then hear like the hip hop beats and stuff going on. And that's when I was writing there. And then you go back into the studio, take all of that energy, put it into the music.
That's amazing. Yeah, the fact that like you said, you guys were self-contained. You were bringing the sound and the music to the label. So yeah. How did that relationship begin with Bad Boy? How did you guys get started with that?
Well, after we were signed, we moved to Atlanta to New York. We just pretty much hunkered up, got a spot out there, and then we would just be in the studio all the time.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? And everybody was very hands-on because the label was very boutique. You know what I'm saying? It was at the beginning stages of it. And we were blessed to be around very amazing people. So big shout out to Faith and even Mary J. Blige. And people were coming into sessions.
Yeah.
And, even before we started working on our project, we were writing for other artists. Okay. So we were writing for the Isley Brothers, a New Edition. Faith allowed us to be in her sessions and write. You know what I'm saying? Total, So that was an amazing situation. We were like cutting our teeth, getting ready for our project.
Your moment, yes. Now, I know, I just want to briefly address this, but I know you've been vocal about not experiencing some of the versions of Diddy that we're hearing about in the recent days.
Yeah.
But what was your experience like with Diddy and working for Bad Boy? How would you describe that experience?
Well, we were always musically creative around him. You know what I'm saying? Like the only time we really saw him was when we were music creative,
Okay.
So he was hands-on, he would come out, we were always in the studio. He would come from partying or whatever, or going from one studio session, and he'll come in and he'll be like, okay, what y'all got? Because he knew exactly what he signed. He knew he didn't have to babysit us. So, he would come in and then he'd be listening and the producers and, what I'm saying, and then he see us do our thing. So it was easy to bring elements of what he felt that we needed. You know what I'm saying? But he would dump it off and be like, I see y'all. I know y'all got it.
I think that speaks volumes, because I know he's very like hands-on with the process, just from what I've seen on shows, and he required excellence. So I think that speaks volumes to you guys' quality of work and your dedication.
The driving the perfectionism, so we recorded a couple of our projects in Nashville, Tennessee.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? And so one time we were blessed to be able to record in Reba McEntire's studio. And she actually came. And
It's amazing.
It was an amazing situation. We will record the bulk of our situation, the meat, potatoes, as we would say it. And then we will go to New York and get what we think that's what we needed, you know. But we were always in contact with the producers. Big shout out to the Stevie J's and Mario Winans and everybody, Tim and Bob's, everybody that we worked with, you know, who would give us, would be like, hey, need this. Okay, let me get this. The track might need this element. They'll put overdubs, and then, you know, and we created our infamous interludes.
Okay.
Yeah.
I love that. Was there a moment, or can you think of a moment where you were like, you realized that you guys made it? Like, oh shoot, this is real. We made it.
Yeah. Yes.
What moment was that?
Oh my God. So we were still living in New York,
Mm-hmm.
and I remember walking down 42nd,
Mm-hmm.
and I think they played our video for the first time, and you could kind of tell they were already kind of playing on Hot 97. That's the big radio station. And I was walking down 42nd, and people were riding by, like, "Bup, bup, 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 bup. Yo, y'all got one."
Oh my
You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, I was like,
Wow. Mm.
like, wow. And from somebody who was a nerd growing up, you know, people didn't really know my name, to now you have people, and you're in a whole nother state,
Mm-hmm.
and people are blowing and just seeing you walk down the street and giving you flowers. Here we go.
You knew it was on and popping from
Yeah.
there. Love that. Love that. Now, just in the years following the inception of the group, what was the driving force, would you say, for you guys deciding to kind of step away briefly to pursue solo projects? Because you have some successful solo projects as well. What was the driving force behind that for you?
Well, I just think, you know, as time goes, people change.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So, you know, the first time it happened, it was just a situation where you kind of heard the talking or whatever, and you just have to respect it. Okay. Sometimes people want to get stuff out.
Right.
You know what I mean? And of course, I never wanted to go solo. Ever. I was very comfortable being the front man of a group that everybody can hold their own.
Yeah.
You know. So but, you know, hey, I said, you know what? If I'm going to do it my way. So I was blessed to be around certain people that definitely believed in me and, you know, carried me in, and, you know what I'm saying, made sure my vision as far as setting up a label, being the first R&B artist under Asylum, getting a record, you know, all the DJs. I always say DJs make the world go round. The DJs picked the record when I went out there, you know what I'm saying, Orlando. Big shout out to Odds and Ends, Ricky Padilla and DJ Nasty out there, Orlando, you know, for helping me get that record and not conforming to what everybody thought I should sound like. You know what I'm saying? So when So Fly hit, it was an instant smash. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, Slow Fly was definitely fly.
Yeah.
It was something. It was definitely a different sound than what we would have expected from you,
Exactly.
but it worked, and it was fun. It was hip. It was fly.
Yes. Yeah, appreciate it. Thank you.
Yeah, and speaking of your solo work, so you have a new single, "Somebody to Love,"
Yes.
which will drop on the 13th, and you also have a song, "Gotta Have Faith."
Yes.
Tell us, what do these songs mean for this part of your journey in your music career?
You start off with this hip hop and R&B sound, and as you get older and you mature, as you season, I say it like that.
Season is
Season,
great. I
season.
love that.
Well, Somebody to Love, hey, is basically on the message saying, hey, Queens, we see you, we hear you, and you just need the one thing, someone to love, because everybody needs someone to love, right?
Everyone needs someone to love.
And Gotta Have Faith. A big shout out to Eric Bellinger, came down to ATL and just got together and created a smash. And big shout out to Faith Evans that's my sister, for just believing and jumping on the record with me, you know what I'm saying? Because he said, gotta have faith. Can't
You
have
gotta
faith
have faith
without having faith on it, you know what I'm saying?
Yes.
So it was amazing. The message is amazing. So, and the beat is banging too. So,
Okay.
you know what I'm saying?
All right, cool. What is it like working with like the younger generation of musicians for you? How is that for you? Because you know, you
Yes.
have your go-to people that you've been working with throughout the years, but now we have a different generation of musicians. What's that like for you, working with someone like Eric Bellinger?
Amazing. So working with somebody like Eric Bellinger, and I have an artist myself by the name NR, which you know, he's much younger, and to kind of see how they see music and what they're bringing, and then me being able to make sure that the R&B side of the situation is not left out. So they mean the same thing but say it differently.
Yes.
So we both get something out of it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I give them a message, so it's right on point. They make me look cooler by making the words say it differently.
Okay.
So it's all
right.
good.
Love that. And you guys, I feel like when 112 started, your hot songs like Peaches and Cream, for example, you guys had such a finessing way of putting adult
it's
content.
Yeah.
We don't see that as much now.
Yeah.
So maybe you could pour into the younger generation in that way too.
That's exactly what I'm doing.
Yes.
That's
yes.
exactly.
Y'all have a smooth way of putting.
Yeah, it's the way you say it. It's the way you present a situation.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So even after, I would say, even after 30 years, right? It's been 30 years since you guys have dropped. Your voice has remained the same, which I think is very rare. Like we don't see that very often. How have you managed to keep that classic Slim sound?
Well, I have this ritual, so I don't drink, I don't smoke.
Okay.
I don't do certain things at certain times. So like I know that bananas clog my voice up.
Oh.
I know that dairy products, at a certain time, I've started going over to gelato products. I love ice cream,
Okay.
So it's a lot of you have to adapt to what's going on, you know what I'm saying? And I would just have to say I definitely have a team around me and people that really care about me that make sure that I stay focused, because I do have a bit of a sweet tooth and stuff.
Okay. So you just know what works for your body.
Yes, I know what works for my body and my voice.
Love that. Now, I hear that 112 is doing and headlining their first European tour.
And worldwide tour.
Worldwide tour.
Worldwide tour.
Just in a few weeks. Tell us about that.
Well, you know what? Actually, it's going to start November.
Okay.
It's going to start, first leg of the tour starts November to December, then second leg January to February, right?
Yeah.
And then we go overseas.
That is amazing.
That is so huge right there. So I just remember us chilling in Mike's grandma's crib, and we wanted a few things, you know what I mean? While we used to sit there and watch the awards like the BET Awards and the Soul Train Music Awards, just award shows. And we would just, first we want to be in that, we would act like we were doing it, right? And we all came together and we said, man, what do we really want? And really what we want now, we scratched off darn near everything except for star in the Walk of Fame.
Okay.
And an induction in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame.
Ooh, okay.
So
I think that's coming.
That's our drive right here. Me and Mike, we're really that's what we're on right now.
Yeah, we could definitely see that. We would be happy as fans to see that. Yeah. And you guys are celebrating 30 years this year.
Oh my gosh.
What are you doing to celebrate? And like just thinking back, does it feel like 30 years? No. It was like just yesterday.
Remember yesterday.
Yeah.
It's so crazy. Like we were talking off air, and we were actually talking about all of the tours that we were, involved in. So from the Isley Brothers to Keith Sweat, which turned to Bone Thugs, and then we opened up for Whitney Houston, Janet Jackson, and then our own stuff. Of course, everybody know about the Bad Boy tour.
Right.
So it was like doing all of that, and it just went so fast. It's like, how do we celebrate it? How do I celebrate it other than doing this right here? It's like putting out new music and then hearing what people are saying, and then you get your flowers. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And y'all deserve your flowers.
Yeah.
What was it like on tour with Whitney? What moments stuck out to you from that tour?
God. One big one?
Yes.
Was when we were in Albany, New York. So Whitney is a bit of a jokester. I don't know if people really know. She's like the coolest auntie, like. Okay. So she calls us up and she says, hey, I'm gonna need y'all to dress all in white. I need y'all to be in your fresh outfits because we're gonna have cameras. So I'm gonna do a great press. Got the whole setup. It's a little park out here at Albany. in Albany, New York. So we get up, we dressed up, got our stuff, we get out there. We noticed nobody was there. We were like, all right, we know. We're here. We just got here a little early.
Maybe we were a little early. Okay.
In about 5 minutes, all of a sudden you saw 2 white vans drive up, doors open up, and here come water balloons. Whitney with her hair in a ponytail with the dancers and everybody throwing water balloons, boom. And that was crazy because that was a Toys R Us right across the street. We went in there. Super Soakers had just came out. And we bought all the Super Soakers and water balloons, and we fought here's the other part.
Okay.
She lost her voice.
Oh.
She had lost her voice because it got cold. It was warm. It was warm there. Then it got real cold, and they wouldn't stop. And Whitney sat up later on that and played cards, and
that was it.
But that was it. So she lost her voice for about a week and a half, 2 weeks, and people were going crazy, and we knew why.
Yeah. So was the tour like postponed because of that?
No, it kept on going. She just said those shows were postponed.
Oh, gotcha.
Yeah,
okay.
but it was like people on the news like.
But that's fun. She sounds like the fun auntie.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, she's amazing.
If you could go back and talk to young Slim, what would you tell him?
Patience.
Patience.
I would talk to him the importance of patience, and just enjoying everything, enjoying the moment.
Okay.
Because this being in the industry, it's just everything happens so fast, and sometimes when you're working and you're going through certain things, sometimes you don't just sit back and just say, hey man, enjoy the time that you're in it.
Okay.
And so a lot of times I find myself rewinding in my mind.
Yeah.
But thank God,
Your
God
memory.
gave me that. My memory is so good, I can remember everything. So yeah.
Okay, good. So just taking in the moment, enjoying the moment. I think we can all
Yeah.
use that advice. Now, I know you just launched your TikTok recently.
Finally,
you're on TikTok.
I'm on TikTok. Yes.
Hey, what can fans expect, and what are your favorite TikTok trends right now?
Well, the one that I kind of slid into. I seen this one where they were like, "I'm so ATL."
Okay. Oh, the eating.
Yeah. Like,
okay.
so, I just like the stuff that is just like where people don't take themselves so serious, and it's just like people will probably look at you and they think one way of you, but if they really saw you, if somebody sees me, I really don't take myself that serious. Like I'm very crazy. Like
you're very friendly.
I
I thought that you were gonna be. Well, I thought you were gonna be friendly, but I just thought I was getting that fly Slim.
Oh yeah,
and you are fly, you are fresh, but I thought I was just gonna get a different version of you.
Oh,
but you are so open and very friendly.
See, I'm at a part of my life where I'm very comfortable in my skin, and I'm just happy where I am.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But everybody that knows me, they call me shy, only because, if I really don't know you and I'm not in a good environment or whatever, I'm very quiet.
Yeah. Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
But we're gonna get a different version of that.
Oh yeah, but so TikTok, you're gonna see certain things. You know what I'm saying? So it's all good.
Okay, I'm excited to see what this Slim TikTok is hitting for.
Yeah, man.
All right, so nowadays fans consume music a lot differently than they did from the beginning days of 112.
Yep.
What adjustments have you had to make, whether it be social media, as we just talked about TikTok, or any other marketing strategies that you've had to make?
Well, all the above, because, when I came out, we actually listened to music off radios,
Yeah.
Now everybody lives on their phones. So I inquired an amazing team. I call them Slim's Angels. Ooh. So big shout outs to T, K, Ariel, and Shahara. Okay. So, and of course, you notice I have my queens, so because women's teams, you are able to see things in so many ways, where guys, we're so tunnel vision, and then once we lock on to one thing, we can't see anything else. So they help me with everything and make sure that, all areas are covered.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? So that's probably one of the biggest things. And then big shout out to my team, that runs M3, Greg Brown and Abraham and Lucky and DJ Hurricane. So yeah, that's pretty much it. I got a
Okay.
team around me.
Just having the right team.
Got to have the right team.
Very important.
Yes.
All right. So give me your Mount Rushmore of male singing groups.
People I was really locked into, no, New Edition, Boyz II Men, Jodeci, and now you come into our era, us.
Yeah, there you go. 112. There you go. I feel like now we don't really have very many boy bands or male bands.
Yeah.
The K-pop trend is taking over.
And-
That's pretty much the only boy bands we have. Do you think we'll see a resurgence of male groups, male R&B groups?
Well, you know what? I think that the mindsets have to change because back in the day, everybody thought more of we, us, and our. Now everybody's for themselves.
Okay.
So they don't really see the point
Value.
of sharing or, you know what I mean, or saying, oh, I need this person, or, you know what I mean? But hopefully there will be a culture where that can be presented, where groups will be more prevalent.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
That's a good point. Yeah, it's a mindset
mindset,
shift that is needed.
Yeah.
And when it's all said and done, what do you want fans to feel about Slim and Slim's music and your legacy?
Oh man, that I adore and I attack music unapologetically, and I absolutely love it. Yeah, that's what I would say. I would just say that I just love music, and I just want to touch people in just all different ways, on and off the stage. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm also into mental health awareness.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? And I invested in a couple of clinics in Dallas and Vegas. And basically it was because of like how my upbringing, and I understand, like when I look at kids, sometimes the kids, you think they don't have nothing to say, but they have a lot to say. Sometimes they feel like they're not being heard, and it starts there.
Yeah.
And then when we grow up, it becomes bigger. You know what I'm saying? So I kind of want to attack them when they're young.
Yeah.
Small bodies, strong voices. They're our future. You know what I'm saying? So somebody got to speak for the unspoken, and somebody got to mold them. They're our future bosses, our everything. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So
No, I know we were talking about mentorship and the importance of mentorship to you.
yes.
How important that is for you to pour into the younger generation. What are some gems that you share with them?
Oh man, I would just tell them that you are heard. And we hear you, we see you, and I would tell them that see yourself as who you want to be.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? And and so because you're that right now, you know what I mean? Because the world is depending on you. We're depending on you. So yeah, man. So like just way we talked about the music, the group, the we, us, and our type situations, everything. So
And even the evolution of your song content.
yes,
Yeah.
the content.
Yeah.
Yes.
Love that. You're doing amazing things. I'm glad to see you just still killing it. And we
Yes.
don't stop. We love
Yes.
Slim music.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, and we're
Gotta
looking
hear
forward
it.
to the tour.
Thank
Where can
you.
people find tickets, get their tickets?
Okay, so it's probably about to. I think Ticketmaster is probably about to drop it sometime.
Okay.
Either this month or next month.
All right, so we'll keep an eye out.
So please keep an eye out.
And we'll follow you on
Room
Instagram,
112.
TikTok.
Yes, TikTok, Facebook. I have oh man, I probably have it all now.
You
So I
have
got
it
a good
all,
team
yes.
now. But yes, definitely my TikTok, my IG, and Facebook.
Amazing. Well, thank you, Slim.
Thank you so
Thank
much.
you. This
Thanks
was
for having
great.
me.
Absolutely.
This is amazing, y'all. Thank
Yeah.
you. What's up, y'all? Hey, it's your boy Slim, and you've been blessed.